You just want to try this again some other time?
No, I'm live now.
Live with what?
With YouTube, and I'm like, what I can do because I have the PC, I can go live on YouTube and stream the screen. I stream my screen right now that is showing the Discord. So I'm like streaming our because I have the
So I'm
PC,
a
I
small
can.
little screen.
No, it's actually okay. If you go to my stream, you can see it.
I think it's very cool. I don't mind being in a small little screen.
No, it's all right. If you go to my YouTube channel, okay, you probably can't because you're on your phone. But no, we can actually see us both. Is that a bike behind you?
It is, yeah.
Do you do like Paul Felder, like track work?
I like road bikes, man. Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice, good for you.
No good for you.
No, 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 it's actually good for you.
It's a thing about life, you know, when something's really good for you.
Yeah. I'll say it's actually kind of good for you. Like actually, like it's kind of good for you. Let me use my Bloodsport cap that I look a little bit more. A little bit more.
Wait, so what is this live on at the moment?
We're live on YouTube.
Oh, very fantastic. Okay, cool.
That's why I tried to make the segment with Paul Felder. Oh shit. So what we can actually do right now is we'll look into the card for this weekend. I will look into it and I will tell you the fights that are on there, and we give our.
Wait, hold on. Wait a sec. Is this the show? Is the show started?
Of course it started, brother.
The show has started. What's the show called?
The show is called MMA Talk, the Nerd and the Casual.
With the nerd and the casual. Okay, okay. And who's hosting this show?
It's fucking Bloodsport MMA and Tony Howe.
Okay,
AKA
all right, okay.
Tony Ho. No, I'm joking.
Okay, I'll take it. Okay, Django, whatever. All right, cool. As long as we get those formalities out of the way, then I'm all good with that, man. Okay, so what do you? So we're talking about MMA right now,
bro. One day we'll have a whole studio set up and we'll do this show.
I believe you, but let's start talking about some MMA right now. What do you want to say to me? Okay, I'm a casual.
So,
you
look,
a nerd.
I'll tell you. This Saturday there's a UFC card, right?
Okay.
Wait, give me a second. Me and just to inform everyone, me and Changalo are live on my YouTube.
Hey, okay. Hey, next time I'm just gonna say we need to get that done before the show. All right, chop chop.
Sure. So this weekend there's a card. I haven't looked into it yet, so I will look into it now, and we give both our thoughts on the card. I'll read the fights to you, okay? And you give me your thoughts, then I give it my thoughts, and then I move on to the next fight, and you again, me again, okay?
Okay, well, you know I'm a casual fan though, so I might not know all these people.
That's the interesting thing about it, yeah. And then you can maybe try to just act like you know something, and I will find out if you're lying or not. You know what I mean?
I don't need to act like I know something if I probably know about it.
Okay, so main event of this weekend is Marvin Vettori versus Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, I know both those fighters. Okay, I actually really like both those fighters. Let's talk about this fight.
Well, give me your thoughts on it. What is your thought? Who do you like more? Who do you think will win? How will this fight go?
Okay, as a casual fan, I don't know a whole bunch about these two fighters. Okay, I know the Ruthless though. They both have fought Robert Whitaker, right?
No, the only ruthless guy is Robbie Lawler.
You stop it. But both men have fought Whitaker, right?
Vettori fought Whitaker. Yeah, they both fought Whitaker. Yeah, true.
Who and they both won or lost to
they
him?
Both lost, pretty dominantly both. Yeah.
And both those fighters have fought Izzy, correct?
Yeah, and both.
Okay, and out of those, who won?
Vettori fought Izzy 2 times, lost 2 times. Cannonier fought Izzy 1 time, lost obviously 1 time.
Okay, so I really like. I like both the personalities. Jared Cannonier's personality doesn't come out. It comes out sometimes when the show's on. I love it when he gets really excited. I think as far as power goes, I think Cannonier probably he's got a lot of power, man.
Mm.
I think who is it? Vittori, Vitali.
The
Is it
Italian Dream is actually his nickname. Yeah.
the Italian? Okay, okay. Someone made that shit up. Okay, stop. I I I like him, bro, but I don't see him beating Jared Cannonier. Does he have any jujitsu? I think he's more of a striker wrestler, right?
Vettori is actually kind of a boxer slash wrestler in some regard. Yes, he
Yeah,
has
striker.
jiu-jitsu, but Cannonier and Vettori are both not typical grapplers or something. They both
Oh,
won't like tap each other out with like flying triangles or something.
Todd is fucking here. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, keep going. Yes. I
so
so wait. So who do you think's gonna win?
so I have a pretty straight mind on this. I think, and that's my breakdown of it. Look, both are good fighters, but both, in my opinion, are not champions. I don't think any one of these will be champion. I like Vettori more. I have to say, I like both of them. And
Okay.
Vettori, I really like, is growing on me with his personality and his style and everything. But just
Mm-hmm.
completely neutrally said, Vettori is not a finisher. Cannonier is more a finisher, yes, but Vettori has a very good chin. And Cannonier has, if Cannonier puts someone out, it's normally a guy that really struggles with defending punches and stuff, like a guy like Brunson that he put out last time. But I just don't see Cannonier putting Vettori out because Whitaker couldn't put Vettori out. Izzy couldn't put Vettori out. So many people tried and they failed. And I
I
think
bet you.
with
I bet you Cannonier does.
I think Vettori will just. He has good boxing. Actually, his boxing is looking slick nowadays. I think he will just confidently win the rounds against Cannonier and win the fight by decision. I don't think any one of these will land crazy stuff. I think they will just exchange and try to hit each other and both do a good job defensively. And I think that Vettori will come up victorious. I'm pretty sure of that. I'll probably put money on this as well. I'm pretty confident in Vettori in this fight.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm completely going against you. I'm gonna go Jared Cannonier, and he's gonna knock Vittori out. And I'm gonna tell you why he's gonna. Wait, hold on, real quick. What's their ages?
Let me tell you this. The ages are 39 for Jared Cannonier and 29 for Vettori.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, well, if you look at statistically, I think there's a statistic in the UFC that younger fighters usually win like 60 or 70% more. It's like a very high percentage actually.
I mean, 10-year
Um,
difference is a big difference. Especially 39 is old for a middleweight.
I mean, I mean, but it's also Jared Cannonier. I mean, he dropped down from super heavyweight or not super heavyweight, from heavyweight if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
So he's transferring a lot of power. How did he look in his last fight? Who would he fight?
Last fight he fought Strickland and won by split decision. I think he lost. I really think he lost.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna say if you don't knock out Strickland, all right, I'm probably gonna go with your guy. Okay, what's
Yeah.
the next one? Oh, hey, real quick, I just want to say this, or I don't remember. I think I don't like the way Vittori sells fights. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
that. I wish that he could sell fights better, and that's all.
Okay, interesting. Co-main events. Actually, one guy that I'm a big fan of. The other guy is a guy that I myself am not even too familiar with. It's
Right.
Arman Sarukian. It's a guy that I really like. Arman Sarukian. He fought Islam Makhachev. He fought Mateusz Gamrot. He's a top-ranked lightweight. He fights Joaquim Silva. So Sarukian is like Islam Makhachev in younger. He's 26 years old. He's a beast of a guy. He's a phenomenal wrestler, grapples well, strikes well, just a champion, in my opinion.
That's not a household name. Okay. Do you have a picture of this man? Can I see him? I don't think you can show me, can you? Hold on. Hold on.
Oh
Make it
wait,
so it.
the guy here
Okay.
with the beard.
Okay. I feel like I have seen him before, but it's not a recognizable. I don't know either of those fighters as far as their stories.
HS
So I.
HS7 says, "Can I get a piotch?"
Catch! You know what I do, baby. Put it out right there. But that's the only one. Okay. Next one's not free. Okay. It's going to cost you a juice. You got some juice. You guys, if you guys some juice, you're gonna have to send that my way. All right, some juice. Look, I as far as that, I'd flip a coin. Tell me briefly about those two fighters.
Okay,
It
I'll
looks
give
like,
you a little bit of a description for them.
please.
So Joaquim Silva is 12-4.
Okay,
Arman Sarukian is 19-3.
okay,
Joaquim Silva is 34 years of age. Arman 26 years of age. Arman, that's actually a reach
wait,
advantage.
you said 26. What?
26 years of
26.
age
What? Who's the other one?
at 34.
Okay,
Arman, the younger guy, has a reach advantage of nearly 10 centimeters. I don't know how many inches, like 34 inches or something. I don't know.
okay,
And yeah, both are like Arman has a high takedown rate. Silva doesn't. Silva won by KO
okay.
his last fight, but Silva's last fight was over a year ago, a year and a half ago, but he won by KO. Arman's last win was a decision win half a year ago.
Yeah, so your young guy, he's gonna grind out the win. He's gonna go for the W. I don't see him striking against your boy who's TKO somebody. You're in the co-main. You don't want to lose, so why not stick? You're gonna stick to what you know. I'd stick with that with your boy right there.
Mm.
But
Actually,
you also don't take away the idea that my man could get clipped, especially if someone did their homework.
yeah, of course, it's always possible. Even though Arman has a crazy chin, but we'll see. I
All
actually
right,
just see right now that the card is full with names that you probably don't know, but it's okay.
all
Next
right,
next fight is Armen, nearly the same name, Armen Petrosian
okay,
against Christian Duncan. So Armen Petrosian is 8-2. Christian Duncan is 8-0. Christian Duncan is actually a guy that got very hyped from the UK.
okay,
He comes from the UK, was very hyped over there, was champion, undefeated, blah blah blah. Had his UFC debut in March at UFC London, won by KO against Duško Todorovic, which is a good
okay.
win. Yeah, and he's 27 years old. His opponent is 32, both coming off a win. There's actually oh my god, Duncan has a 20 centimeter reach advantage, which is like 20 centimeter reach advantage is like that's like 20 centimeters.
Does he know how to use it though?
It's like a dick size of a big man.
Yeah, but does he know how to use it? Like, what's his TKO
He's
rate?
a striker. He's a great striker. I can tell you his rate. Let me see. Christian. Oh wait, it probably says it here. No wait, Chris.
I'm over here in the cookout, man. I'm over here in the cookout, man. This room is so hot. It's boiling. It's boiling.
Let me see.
He's air conditioned. You look comfortable. Are you comfortable? I'm over here. I'm dying. I think I just lost some hair.
Bro, I'm in Switzerland. It's not hot, not too hot here. You know what I mean? So he
Stop it.
actually has 6 wins by KO out of his 8 wins.
I'm probably gonna go with my man right there with the long reach.
Me as well. Christian Duncan. I also got Christian Duncan in this fight. He's such a good prospect.
Is he the one who's the 8-0 guy?
Yeah, the UK guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he fight in other previous organizations?
Cage Warriors, I think. Yeah, it must be Cage Warriors.
Yeah, usually Cage Warriors guys do really good on the UFC stage.
Actually true, yeah, actually true. Because also, like, from Cage Warriors, they only sign really good champions. They don't just sign everyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing with Cage Warriors. Like, either they bring you in for a storyline in UFC, and that's why UFC is so popular, man, is because of the storylines and how people sell themselves. And that's why I gravitate towards those people who can or try to sell themselves. I think they're so much fun to watch, even if you just attempt to try a different way.
Amon, I don't really get your question, brother. If you could reformulate that. Charbik is a very good guy, yeah. Next fight on the card is Pat Sabatini against Lucas Almeida. So Pat Sabatini comes off a loss against Damon Jackson by KO. But that was nearly a year ago. And Almeida is coming off a win against Trizano, which was actually 3 months. No, they're all fighting. Okay, over 1 year ago. Okay, so both a little bit inactive. They're both 32 years of age. They're both at the same reach, same height, more or less. Okay, no, one guy's taller.
So that's a toss up as well.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to say anything to you that would indicate something. Pat Sabatini
But
seven.
hey, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
No
want to say
worries.
something. You, you ready?
I'm ready, of course.
As a casual fan, I was a little fucking pissed at some of the some judging that's been happening. It makes me
Let's talk
kind of.
about that. Yeah.
I just want to be straight. Look, I'm all for what's going on in these fights that are about to be coming on, but I really want to talk about the judging because I watched that fight with Kai Car France. Like, I know everyone's like somebody thought he won. I watched it unbiasedly, and I was like, man, they should really start talking about these judges, man, because they
100%.
might take people away because then you feel like it's almost fixed. Like, what the fuck, man?
No, I actually did a video about this like half a year ago or something with some judging errors, and it still works today. The biggest problem I have with these wrong decisions is they always say, "Yeah, it's only a loss, like you can still win." Bro, first of all, Kaikar France earns 100k show up, 100k win. That's 100k that he loses. He won the fight. It's obvious he won the fight. He loses
It,
100k. Bro has a family at home. 100k is a shit ton of money. He could do a lot of good things with that money.
he's
Second
gonna
of
do
all,
great with 100.
yeah, and second of all, the records really matter. Kaikor France is now on a 2-fight losing streak. He
That's
will
see,
get back in the rankings now. It looks bad on his record because
yep.
people who will look on the record in 1 year that didn't really watch the fight don't know that this was a robbery. It doesn't say robbery on the record, it says loss by decision. So it
Preach,
looks
brother.
it's bad on his record. It's bad for his career. You can't. It's bad for selling his future fights. Whilst Albazi now, who actually would have lost that fight, who would have been on the negative path, is now on the good path. Is on like a 6-5 winning streak and the king of the world, which
I
is a
think that's
big
the most
problem.
bullshit. I thought it was the most bullshit thing ever, man. Because even he thought he didn't even believe that shit. He was just like, I wanted you to see my stand up, and he kind of looked to his left, looked like he's looking to his parents, like, do you think they know I'm lying? Because we all saw you stand up, and we all saw what happened when you stood up for 4 rounds. Sorry, man, because one of those rounds you laid on him. So while I want to talk to you about the card coming up, I have like legitimately like concerns because what if I watch a fight and I feel very confident, but my man literally just lays on him for 1 round and someone goes, that dude put his thing on his tummy and he didn't do anything about it for 4 minutes. His whole thing was on his tummy, playing tummy sticks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So if you play tummy sticks for 5 minutes as opposed to like, it's just like in the video game, man. Like if you get put in a situation, like handle it. If that's where your expertise is on the ground, fucking take him there, son. Not hold him there and be like, oh, you like that? Hold on. Because it's just at some point, I'm just watching two dudes hold each other hard as fuck. And whoever's on the outside wins. And that's bullshit.
The problem is as well that it really depends on the referee how the ground fighting goes and the overall like the clinch and everything, because depending on how much the referee knows about grappling, how much the referee likes grappling, it's on him to stand the people up, and that's a little bit of a problem. There should be some kind of a rule or uh, some kind of a at least a small rule from this to this amount of time you need to let them work, from this to this amount of time you have to warn them, like, because some referees like a Jason Herzog, who is a black belt in BJJ, who's one of the best refs in the world, but he's a
Right?
black belt in BJJ, he will let the people be on the ground for a longer amount of time. And I love grappling. But if a Bilal Muhammad chills on the floor laying on a guy for 3 minutes, landing 5 ground and pound shots overall, I disagree with that. I think if you can't advance positions, and I know many people disagree with that, but if you can advance positions, if you can do anything, you should be stood up. And I also see the argument, yeah, but if you can't escape, that's your problem. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's an entertainment business. Yeah, it's about the fight, but if you just lay there for 3 minutes, not doing any damage, nothing, and winning the fight like that, you're not entertaining, you're not selling anything, you're doing bad work for yourself, for the company, for everything. So, and for the sport, people will tune off. People will say, "Fuck the sport, it's boring." So make them stand up if you are not advanced position, not doing anything on the ground other than throwing 3 hammer fists a minute. It's just bullshit. Because that's how Wonderboy lost like 3 fights in a row, and it's just, if they are so much better grapplers to him, why don't they try to submit him advanced positions? I don't know, try to get him up with ground and pound, search the finish. I think fighters should always be the same as in the stand-up, because a good example is in the stand-up, there's a rule, if you're in the stand-up and you don't engage, if you just stand in front of each other like that and you don't engage, the referee, like in the Rose Carla fight, will come to you and tell you, you need to be active, you need to be active, you need to be active. Why is nobody telling that on the ground? Okay, some referees do, but they take way too long. It should be the same.
I completely agree with you. It is subjective, though. You know what I mean? It's very subjective because you don't. Well, okay. Dude. I think Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman are perfect examples of wrestlers who show you what should be done or how it should be done. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Hold on. Because they know where their strengths lie, and then they fight at their weak, not at their. They made their. Kamaru Usman wasn't a great striker. Okay, he was a significantly better wrestler than most, but he became a much more dominant striker as he lived inside that cage. And then it was like, oh, after he knocked out Masvidal, you saw a switch inside of him of like, oh,
I could do that.
Oh, I can smack the fuck out of you right now. And if you try to go to the water, I will.
That's my
drown you.
world.
And so it's like, that's what people like to see. And so when it comes to these guys that are wrestling, they have to understand that, we don't even care if you have, like, Charles Oliveira, perfect example. He grew up in the UFC, basically, became an assassin, has losses, but has risen to the absolute cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But he took his L's. And now he stands up and he's just like, oh, I'll stand and bang with you. And he has his own very unique way of standing and being comfortable in front of another person.
Mm.
Just like Islam, as you saw, I don't think he felt as comfortable on the hands, but that's a completely different fight. I'm not here to talk about that.
Against Volko, even you mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you know what someone relies on as opposed to what someone's working on. Like, that's why you can see where a great champion will be as opposed to who will not be. Because those who work on their greatest weaknesses will become the greatest. Like Volkanovski, for instance.
Very good point. Very good point. Oh, that's you put in very interesting points in the chat. I appreciate that. Jamir, what about his grappling sucks? Well, his grappling is good enough that he can get submitted. Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I just answer some chat sometimes. I agree with you. And I believe that if you are in the sport long enough and you don't work on your weaknesses, it will get exposed at one stage. Like, you can be the best grappler in the world, but let's take Ryan Hall for example, like the guy that is always butt scooting and like pulling guard and like
I know who Ryan Hall is.
He won the Ultimate Fighter. He smashed everyone. But
yeah,
it stopped to work at some point because people just figured out, hey, if you go to the ground, I can just wait for you to get up again. I can kick your legs. I can try to even knock you out with ground and pound or something. It didn't work anymore. And then he started to lose fights. He got knocked out because you can't lay on the ground forever. The referee will say get up. So if you don't work on your weaknesses, you will get exposed. Same as you can maybe even make the point what happened to Conor, even though I believe it's just because Khabib was such a superior grappler. But if you only focus on one thing, the other thing will get exposed at some stage. That's why, only guys who work on everything can be the greats. That's why Volkanovski is such a great example, because Volkanovski was not even a martial artist. He was a fucking rugby player. And now he's competing at wrestling, grappling, which is the hardest sport to get good at. Like, you will never catch up with a guy that trained since he's 5 years old. But Volkanovski somehow managed to catch up with a guy that grapples since he's a kid, that is even a weight class higher than him, and managed to he's not on the exact same grappling level as Islam, but he managed to keep up with him. He managed to defend himself against a guy like that, which is hard as fuck to do.
He looked comfortable. Islam looked like Yeah, he looked comfortable. Islam looked like he was like, why is he so comfortable? This
Yeah,
little sausage man.
and if you're comfortable, you will intimidate your opponent in some way. There's nothing more intimidating than someone who walks towards you who is comfortable, because you're like, fuck, he must know something that I don't know. I must be careful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
think so.
that was fucking savage though when Islam was on his back and Volker was like cheering and like the most risky thing is to take your hands up and stuff because Islam just has to wrap the arms around your neck, and he was like cheering to the crowd and like saying stuff and whatever. You remember? It was crazy. That was really crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a different type of confidence. I mean, that guy's going. I mean, he's smaller than I'm like 5'9.5", right? I have never in my entire life weighed above the weight of 160 pounds, 160 pounds, right?
Mm.
I have a hard time eating. My man is like 5'4", docked in brick house. You know what I'm saying? Fucking 220 Captain Cheese running at rugby players. No pads. You know what we do in America? We put on fucking pads. You know what they do with it? No pads. This tall, this condensed, little molecule just running at people. He's like
Fire
fucking
hydrant.
Ant-Man, dude.
He's a fucking fire hydrant, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, if they put him in there, they were like him and Ngannou, I would be like, what's the minus stuff? Because I'm
What's the
trying to
odds?
bet. Yeah, what's the odds? Because I guarantee you, my man has a chance.
Volker will take him down, take his back.
Yo, okay, Wei Lee picked up Ngannou and there's some video of her picking up Ngannou like he's nothing, right?
We can
Think
talk
about
about that though.
Volkanovski.
No, wait. Let me tell you something though. In that video, let me give you some science. In that video, you can see Ngannou is leaning forward while she picks him up, which makes you like half the weight you are. If you lean forward, if you ever try to pick, if you know a very heavy person, try to lift her up with a high crotch, like you go with your arm underneath, like here,
Right.
the other arm like this, and try to lift him up. If he just is like that, it will be hard. But if he's like that, like a little bit bent forward, it's much easier. And yeah, it's impressive anyways to lift up Ngannou. I'm not taking anything away from that. I just want to say the reason why she was able to lift him up so easy was because he was leaning forward to help her because he's not.
I'm telling you right now, Volkanovski lifts him up and throws him out the fucking cage.
He can't. Okay, no, but he lifts him up.
Oh.
Volkanovski can't even reach him to the fucking cage.
I would bet money Volkanovski takes Ngannou down to the ground. I fucking put money on it. He would bench press his fucking butt cheeks, dog. You get behind him somehow and just fucking chop.
Over or under? You know what over under is? Over under means like if I say you a possibility, and if you say over, you think it will happen. If you say under, you think it won't happen. Over or under? Will there ever be someone in any way, flying knee that misses, getting taken down, lifted up, throwing? Will there ever be someone that's flying out the cage by accident during a UFC fight? Over or under?
Like betting wise, I'd say under.
It's just let me reformulate the question. Do you think there will ever be someone in the UFC that will fly over the cage?
Like unintentionally?
Unintentionally, like for example, he throws a flying knee, misses.
No.
You know what the fun thing is? Last weekend it nearly happened like that. A fighter, I think Blake Builder, it was a guy that I really like, threw a flying knee, and I don't know how he managed to not fall out of the cage. He missed the flying knee, and he jumped so high, he jumped like onto the top of the fence with the knee. Bro nearly fucking fell over. Yeah, Michael Pereira is possible, Jamie. That's actually a good point that he brings up. Someone wrote in the chat, Michael Pereira. You know, Michel Pereira, the guy who always does like backflips and stuff in the cage? The crazy guy, the Brazilian with the ponytail?
Yeah. I know my man. I think he's a middleweight. Yeah, I think he's a middleweight, right?
Yeah. No, welterweight.
He's thick as fuck.
Yeah, he wanted to fight Wonder Boy, so he's welterweight. Yeah, he's Walter White. He could be a guy that can do that, man. Like, he's crazy. That costs a lot of stamina to do like backflips and stuff in there. Like, that's crazy.
Michael Chandler,
I think he's too small to jump outside of the cage.
No, what are you talking about? It's the small ones you got to look out for. Those are the ones who got the most leg strength. He could just leap out that motherfucker if he wanted, like that.
Yeah, I'm afraid
Have
like
you,
a heavyweight lifts another heavyweight up and he just falls over the cage somehow.
bro? That Michael Chandler's thigh is as big as this screen. It would just speak for him.
Michael Chandler is really growing on me though. I really start to like. I always liked him, but I'm starting to be a fan of him. Even though he's potentially fighting, that's also a point that we could discuss. Do
Dude,
you think Michael
yes,
Chandler will actually fight Conor McGregor? Do you think it will happen?
yes, yes. And I'll
I
tell
am
you why.
okay. Tell
You
me.
want me to tell you why?
Tell me why.
Because it will take about 6 months, I believe. A
That's it,
Conor
Paul.
McGregor is back in the USADA pool, from what I know.
He's back since like close to a month now. Yeah.
Okay, you're you're literally saying he's entered the pool and doesn't want to fight. He's gonna. I bet you. Look, money does a lot of things in Vegas and in the UFC. I bet you they'll circumvent some shit. They'll get him in there faster. They'll do some super test or something, and they will fight because he needs to fight. I don't think like if he doesn't, it's bad for his brand. Even though his brand will never die, it will continue to grow forever. And he's also a competitor, dude.
I agree. I agree. I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest. I'm 50-50 on it. The pro
They
side
did
for
the
me,
show.
the pro side for me is like Michael Chandler is the perfect fight for him to come back to. Michael Chandler is a big name. A win over Michael Chandler means something. Like there are several people that got title shots after beating Michael Chandler. So a win of him means something. Michael Chandler is a guy. His style, if he's not wrestling, his normal style favors Conor because Michael Chandler throws big looping hooks and stuff and leaves himself open for counters. And Conor likes nothing more than an Eddie Alvarez type of guy who just throws hook and he can lean out of the way and counter him.
Yeah, but
Then
there's all depends on what kind of Conor McGregor you get.
and the other pro thing is they are on the Ultimate Fighter, everything, blah blah blah, this and that. The negative side is why I'm kind of skeptical about this. Is first of all, it's very weird that Dana White got asked recently about this fight, and I think the reporter even asked him, "Is this fight even going to happen? Why don't we hear anything?" And Dana said it's hard. You know, it's not easy to motivate someone to fight that has all this money that Connor has and stuff. Um, and I could see that Connor says, "Look, actually, I only want to fight for the title. I don't want to fight any contenders because whatever you want to say, however you disagree with if he's deserving or not, there's no discussion about that. But if Conor McGregor wants, he will get a title shot,
Yep.
welterweight or lightweight. If he wants to, they will do it. They want nothing more than Conor as a champion. These pay-per-views will sell like crazy. So I could see
Yeah,
Conor
but that's
saying, "Look, I'm 35. I don't actually, or 34. I don't actually want to fight Chandler anymore. Like, if there's nothing to gain for me, I want a title shot. Fuck this guy. He's not relevant enough. Michael Chandler doesn't sell enough pay-per-views. I want another guy." I could see
uh
that being a possibility, but I hope they will fight.
because okay, well I didn't really factor that in as well. You're talking about the views on the Ultimate Fighter, correct? That's kind of uh in your opinion, because from what I read, it's very low numbers
Oh,
from
really?
what they.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I think they didn't even. It's like 200,000 views. Like it's low, dude. Kids on YouTube get higher views than this shit. Basically, is what they're saying. So
Hmm.
I I don't know.
I,
I never thought. I don't think Michael Chandler's like a huge name personally. I think he's the biggest name because Dana White wanted him to be a big name. I think
hmm,
his fights have been really fun inside the octagon. I think he's a gladiator, dude. Um,
very
and
fun.
I think he would put on a really spectacular fight with Conor McGregor. But I mean, he I don't. The thing is, whoever goes, Conor McGregor needs a partner inside of sales. He'll always sell, but it's all about like storylines and who wants a good fight. He wants another one. Who wants your last outing to be your leg break, man?
But I also feel like that a problem is also that the Chandler fight is hard to sell, or not hard to sell. Like Conor will always sell, but they probably like if you think about Islam Conor, the bad blood, the prehistory, all these things. This
No.
fight would sell like crazy. The Chandler fight is like Connor and Chandler are publicly saying that they like each other. And I don't know how much the UFC likes that. But I have to say, the Ultimate Fighter views could also be because it's the first time that the Ultimate Fighter for all the Americans is only on ESPN Plus, and I can see Americans saying, "Look, I don't want to pay. I don't know how much is ESPN Plus, $15 a month or something. I'm not down to pay $15 just to watch a reality TV show that I will see on YouTube anyways in a few weeks."
Or
Um,
Rumble.
or Rumble or whatever. So I until now was on Fight Pass, which makes more sense for fight fans to have Fight Pass than ESPN Plus. So I could see that that's also a factor. Um, and somehow until now there wasn't too much crazy stuff going on the Ultimate Fighter. They need the drama, you know what I mean? There will be drama. We saw it in the preview, but it's not like until now. It's not a season where like the coaches go mad at each other, the fighters have beef inside the house, and there's this huge crazy guy, and they're all like until now. It's normal. It's nothing like spectacular that's happening. You know what I mean?
This season for Ultimate Fighter kind of take me out of it, to be honest with you, because the editing really kind of took me out because it basically looks like a billionaire came in there and they're like, I'm gonna edit this to make it sound, I'm gonna pin ya. Like, who the fuck says that? And who the fuck doesn't go, oh, you're gonna pin me out, but I dangle my American balls in your fucking face? Like,
The
what?
Irish.
Yeah, like, where's that? Why are you giving me this respectful ass? Yeah, I'm the hardest thing. Why are you being respectful? Like, stop. Like, tell me, dog. Because everybody, say what it is. You want to punch a billionaire in the fucking face. Tell me that at least.
Flow of gravity. Interesting. Oh, um, yeah, yeah.
Like, because
Actually, true.
like that's what we all want to do. We all want to punch that because he has turned into this or morphed into this character. I mean, I enjoy Conor McGregor just because he has amnesty over everything because of how many eyeballs he brought to the sport, dude.
He brought me
He
to the
brought more.
sport.
He grew that company every time he went to the stage and went to a promo, dude. It was better mics, it was better stages, better this, all after his pay-per-views.
Facts. Connor made the UFC in some way. As I always say, that's the reason why I will always be a loyal fan of Conor McGregor. Without him, okay, I probably would know the sport by now, but I got a fan of the UFC, got to be a fan of the UFC because of Conor McGregor. He brought the sport to me. I never heard of the sport. Okay, I heard in some rap songs or something, but I haven't really paid attention to it in any shape, way, or form until Conor McGregor showed up. And he
Yes,
was so exciting that I wasn't like, oh no, that's just like human cockfighting or something. No, I was like, holy shit, that shit is fucking entertaining, man. I want to watch that.
and the lines were slick, dude. Oh, this cost me a fucking elephant cut. Three men had to die, and
Three
the
people died
accent.
making that
Yeah, but and it was
Solid
also
Gold
during
pocket
like
watch.
it was also during the John Jones era. Think about this. He wasn't even the co-main of a John Jones DC fight. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And now at the same time they went at each other like I'm a fuck. Are you still there, pussy? Like I spit in your face. Like
That was so
I'm
good.
just gonna let you kill me, John. You're just gonna let me kill you, John. Like come on. That shit was the funniest. I still watch that shit because it's so tight and entertaining. And the thing is, I know MMA is about being respectable, and I love the respect too. But it's hard to find those kind of characters that really want to draw you in.
It's very important to have a balance. It's important to have people that represent the sport in a good light, to like Michael Chandler, to the people that are like a little bit new to the sport. They're not really too familiar with violence. You know what I mean? Especially the girls and people like that, because the sport is actually cool to watch for nearly everybody. If you're not a complete, I don't know, if you're not completely afraid of blood or something. Bro, I can't concentrate looking at that. But at the same time, you also need the people that polarize, because if you just have normal people that talk normal sentences, you will get some people, but you will not get that exposure that you get with people like Conor McGregor, like Hamza Chimaev, people that polarize. You need to trigger an emotion. People will hate you and people will love you. If you're a guy like Conor McGregor, like Hamza, all these guys, if you trigger emotions, that's what you want to do. And emotions will be negative and positive. You will have haters that want to kill you or something in your DMs, and you have people that love you and want to marry you and get kids from you. You know what I mean? There's those,
What the fuck was that? What was that last part? No, that was a throwaway line. And there's
bro.
some people that want to marry you and have kids with you, and you live very happy ever
There
after.
are a shit ton of girls that want kids from Connor. I can guarantee you that much.
I want to have kids from Connor. Who cares? Okay. They'd have great personalities and beautiful facial hair. Oh my god. No, look, man. I like it. Yeah, oh no, what I wanted to say, man. Coming up here, you got Dustin Poirier and fighting Justin Gaethje. And I watched, dude. I fucking love Justin Gaethje, man. That dude is probably the most. He sells himself like, yeah, like, ugh.
He doesn't even sell himself with his articulation, his words, or anything. He just sells himself by violence.
Now, yeah, like now I associate him kind of like. Well, actually, I didn't like him getting. You know, when he adjusted, not the first time he fought Dustin Poirier, then I think he was going into the Khabib fight, and he was being a lot more tactful because as he's aging, he's becoming a lot more tactful, not going in just kind of risking his body, life, and limb.
Then he fought Chandler, and they went completely back to like I don't know, caveman brain mentality, fight IQ. Like, that's why. Do you know that the MMA community, like the hardcore community, calls Gaethje Homer Simpson?
No, because that's what that one. No, that dude called him. He called him the Homer Simpson of the MMA community, and he knocked him out. It was that guy Vic something.
James Wick. James Wick.
You're the Homer Simpson of MMA, and he got fucking rocked in that second.
We adapted that. The whole MMA community thinks of Gaethje as the Homer Simpson because he looks like him. He's like, I'm not trying to say Gaethje's stupid, but he's definitely in the cage, not always the smartest guy. Because Gaethje would have phenomenal skills that he could use in a very mixed up way, but he just chooses to stand in front of you, dig his toes into the ground, and just stand and bang the shit out of you. Like, he doesn't move his head, he doesn't really move his feet, he's just standing there exchanging shots.
I think he's worked on it with his age. I think he's worked on it with his age.
But sometimes it leaves him again.
Say again?
But sometimes, like against Chandler, it just leaves him again. It's just caveman mentality again. Homer Simpson.
Did you see him with Edson Barboza?
But that was way back in the day, bro.
Whatever, okay? Edson Barboza was still super scary. You just got this man just walking you down. Catches you with the right hook. Who do you have in that fight? You got Hot Sauce or you got my man?
It's actually a thing I'm thinking about since a few weeks, and I can't really decide because it's first I was like, Poirier is gonna get this, but now I'm leaning towards Gaethje just because of the fact that, yeah, Gaethje takes a lot of damage as well. But if you look at Poirier's last fights, in every single fight, win or lose, he took a lot of damage. He was rocked in every fight. And your chin doesn't get better by your age. And I agree, Gaethje also takes a lot of damage. But I think Gaethje's chin looked better as of late as like Poirier's. And in the first fight, Gaethje was winning that fight until he wasn't. Like, Gaethje was getting Poirier out of there. And then the next round came and somehow Poirier cracked him and finished him. And I think Gaethje really worked on his finishing abilities. And I have a feeling that Gaethje will get him out of there. But I wouldn't be surprised if Poirier wins. It's actually a pick'em fight, in my opinion. But I would lean towards Gaethje somehow. I don't know, I have a feeling towards Gaethje somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. Dustin Poirier fighting Michael Chandler in that last fight kind of left a bad taste in my mouth about Michael Chandler, you know what I'm saying?
Because of the Fisher King.
He's like, that interview, though, right? That interview? Like, hey, man, well, fucking fish hook me, man.
Yeah. And that's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen, where like Chandler's on top of him and just sneezes out a load of blood on him. That was so disgusting. That was so disgusting.
It was bad, man. Look, so I'm not. not the biggest fan because that showed me in that fight that told me something about Michael Chandler's character. Now I don't judge a man inside of a fight, man. That's a fight, man. You do some things, but that's an educated man inside of fighting. You know what I'm saying? And I know I don't think he won. Like he only won against Tony Ferguson. He needed some wins so he could look valuable towards the Conor McGregor fight. He really needed that fucking win. And I think by him going in his mouth kind of showed me like, oh, this guy wants to win too much. And for me, it showed Dustin's character because he was like, hey, whatever, we cool. You put your fucking fingers in my mind. It's a fucking fight, though. We winners, warriors. So I'll go Dustin Poirier against my man Justin Gaethje. No, he's got a hot sauce business. Justin Gaethje.
Oh, you take Gaethje because Poirier has a hot sauce business.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Did you know that it's the official hot sauce of the UFC?
And it's about goddamn time.
It's cool for him, man. It's good brand deal. You know what I mean? Yeah, good exposure, good money. Good for him.
I think it's good branding. I'm so curious to how the UFC looks outside of America. Like, do you guys have UFC stores and shit out there?
So there's two UFC stores. There's UFCstore.com, which is the one that USA and Mexico and some other countries back there use, like Canada and stuff. And there's UFC.eu, UFC Europe store, which is operated from the UK. And
Okay.
the UFC.com store is the biggest store, so they have some things that the Europe store does not possess. But it's nearly the same size. So yeah, we have a store in the UK online and UFC.com store. But of course, the UFC is not nearly as big in Europe as it is in the US. That's for sure.
Yeah. Or in parts of the US, the United States is like half of them love the UFC, and the other half is like, oh, we don't know if we like you. It's very interesting here.
Yeah,
Larry,
but
would you?
Americans are a little bit more open to violence. I feel like than some European countries. There are some European countries that like live from violence, like Russia, Poland, and these guys. All the guys there want to be hooligans, and they're like they love violence. And there's countries like Germany, like Switzerland, like Norway, and countries like that are more liberal. They're more like we don't really like violence. Like in Switzerland, if you go to the average Swiss person, not immigrants, I talk average Swiss person, they'll be like, what is that? That's human cockfighting. That should be illegal. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I need to move out of Switzerland, because in Switzerland MMA is like nearly inexistent. It was also illegal for a long time and stuff. So like they don't like
Yeah,
MMA here.
which is so interesting because it's self defense. It's
Yeah, in some way, I could see the argument against the self defense point that people will say self defense means that if you get attacked, you have a response. But all the combat sports of MMA, especially like Thai boxing and things like that, are for offense and not really defense. Like defense is like, I don't know, maybe Aikido or something. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. By the way, Aikido doesn't work. Just that we have that. There will be a T-shirt coming out in the new Bloodsport MMA collection that comes out this or next week.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
There will be a T-shirt that says Aikido does not work. Prove me wrong.
Okay.
And I will wear
like
that shirt in public, and I hope people will try to prove me wrong. Then I get some content how I beat up Aikido people in the street.
I mean, any content you do where you're outside your place and you're walking around Switzerland or wherever the shit, I always think it's so interesting. I think it's so cool. Just because I like to see, like where you live, it's so different from us, man. I feel like, and just to get that
vibe,
just to get your perspective, you're just walking down the street to get coffee. I think is dope. I want to see that. I want to see you freaking talk to the girl at the coffee shop and give her some Bloodsport MMA talk. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. That's also that's actually an interesting point that you mentioned because America, that's a little bit off topic MMA, but America is, yeah, there are many Karens there that like, I don't know, are a little bit crazy and like like into themselves, not too communicative. But in Switzerland, like if you go in America, if you go to a coffee shop and start some fun conversation or something, you can start that normally with the people that work there. They're more open to talk, I feel like. In Switzerland, people are always like, why are you talking to me? Like if you go to the street, if you walk on the street in Switzerland, you say, hey, nice shoes to someone you never saw before, hey, nice shoes. You're like, what the fuck? You tried to rob me? Or what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
You know what
because
I
there's
mean?
intention behind questions, and there's a reason why you're doing that. They want to know why. Most people are they're a
Swiss
little.
people are very into themselves. They don't really, they are not too much like, they don't like too much contact with people they don't know. Like they want to know you before they talk to you somehow. You know what I mean? They don't really like that. It's really really interesting. Like if I would go to the street in Switzerland with a camera and do like a street Q&A, people would try to sue me probably. They'd probably be like, if you don't delete that footage, I'm gonna sue you. No, bro, chill. I just ask you something. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but the thing is, if you were just recording yourself, I'm sure that'd be fine.
What is in your camera?
Oh, that's Larry's dick.
What the fuck? I have a birthday in the
Remember,
stream.
that's my bird's big ass dick, dog.
Holy shit, bro. That bird is on some fucking pills and some Viagra shit, huh?
Oh, sorry, because I got two dicks now. Sorry, that's Larry's feet. Oh, but it did look like it. That was so funny. It just looked like a dongler. Are you watching on it? Are you? That's not. That's not. Are you commenting? Obviously, it's very important because I like to answer questions. Speaking of, are you going to do that inside of our in the casual and the nerd?
What do you mean?
Are you going to do like a part where we answer questions from the community of which either watches
I
the
think
podcast?
I can. I think I have
I
the
think I think you have an
possibility.
addiction to your phone, man. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
I'm trying to look if I can.
Get dick out of the way.
I think there's a possibility how I can moderate the chat and like do stuff, but I don't really. It's too new, that whole YouTube streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really get it yet. But we'll figure it out one day. But they can text in the chat anyways. If there's any question in the chat, I would go into it. But there's no question right now. There's just people giving their takes
Okay.
sometimes. But
I'm just saying, just because I can't see it because I'm in a Discord chat.
oh, no worries, no worries. No, I will tell you if there's will be something about you or a question or something. So, guys, by the way, if you have any questions, write in the chat. We will be happy to discuss it as long as it's MMA related. Don't
Or
ask.
not, or we won't.
Yeah, it's the
Sorry,
MMA talk.
move your dick.
I never heard that comment before.
No, yeah, man. So what else? What else you got?
What else I
When it
got?
comes to
I got a lot of things.
well, then you got Amanda Nunes. She just retired. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel?
I'll probably get hate for this, for my opinion on Nunes. I don't like Nunes. I'll stop with that. I used to like her at the beginning, actually. I was rooting for her against Cyborg and stuff. But as the more fame she got, the more she started to get on my nerves. First of all, her voice. You know that when someone just speaks and just listening to their voice kind of makes you mad? Like,
God damn.
it's just their. If I hear Amanda Nunes talk, I just want to slap her in the face. Like I would never do that, obviously, but it just
I
I'm
mean,
just
yeah,
like
no, because she could kill you.
I'm just like no, she wouldn't kill me. I was just like, bro, turn that shit off, please. Like that rarely happens, but it happens with Amanda Nunes and her face as well. I don't know, something about her face just makes me go, get the fuck out of my screen. Like
That's
I just don't like Nunes. I'm honest to God, I don't like her, but I'll admit she's a phenomenal fighter. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
okay.
I just
Okay.
don't like her personality. I don't like her
Oh,
face. I don't like her
oh, fuck,
talking.
fuck.
So I'm happy she retired. I'm actually happy she retired because now I don't gotta see her face anymore. And I
You
think
got real
completely.
nice nails. What do you think about her nails? Do you like her nails?
I never. I always skip every content where she's on, so I don't know what her name is. But the thing is, I think it's great that she retired for MMA as well because now the division is finally a little bit open again. Because until now it was just like, okay, women's divisions are already dead. Somehow 135, 145 is even in existence anyways. And I just feel like the 135 division had some okay talent, like Juliana Pena and these guys, but even though Juliana Pena won against Nunes, Nunes was the better fighter still. And I think it's very good now because right now there is no one that I say they will dominate everyone. I believe Juliana Pena wins the title next, but I don't think she'll keep it for too long. I think she'll lose again. And that's what keeps the division interesting because that's how new personality can emerge from the division. How new there's a chance for new stars, you know what I mean? That will push the women's division because Nunes, as much as she was a phenomenal fighter, she wasn't a fan favorite. Her YouTube videos with her on YouTube of the UFC didn't pull any numbers. No one gave a shit about her.
That I will. Okay, well, I think there's a debate to be had, but whatever. I mean, that was quite the rant. I was taking the time. Hold on. Yeah, I like the other opinion. I think it's really nice. I think I have the opposite opinion, obviously. I think she always talked predominantly very positively on the mic, and I always enjoyed it. I also really liked when she came up on stage with like the lioness thing. I thought that was intimidating and cool. But I do see what you're saying. I didn't really think about that because if you have a really dominant champion, which she was, excluding that one fight with what was her name?
Juliana Pena, that she lost by decision. As a submission.
Yeah. I do like Julia Pena's personality because she's friggin'
It's
I'm the
crazy.
best. She's just like I got makeup. Woo! I'm a mom.
I have a
Like I
point to
get it.
mention about Juliana Pena. She does something great. And if she does that on purpose or not, I don't know. But no, not in terms of her fighting. In terms of selling fights and selling overall. She is triggering emotions. For most people, she's getting on their nerves. And people think like, you are fucking delusional. What is wrong with you? But
Okay.
she triggers emotions. And that's the way you sell stuff. That's the way you generate numbers and views. That's what you want at the end of the day. And she talks, I really like Juliana Pena, but she talks so much nonsense every day. Like, I just said I like Juliana Pena, I dislike Nunes, right? But Juliana Pena going off on Nunes after retirement, saying she's running from her, she's scared for her life from Juliana Pena and everything because she
No,
knows, like, it's out of this world delusional. Juliana Pena went on Ariel Helwani and said, Nunes is only the greatest fighter of all time because I'm a warrior and not a fighter. I was like, bro, please shut up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
that doesn't make any sense. Okay.
But it generates emotions. It generates people to go. What the fuck are you talking about? People will tune in. You know what I mean? That's what you want at the end of
Just
the day.
because she's making you think about her and being like, oh, everybody knows this, but I mean, it's just keeping it relevant. It's the same reason why Connor would tweet after everyone's fights and shit.
Like I always say, look, of course, it's better. It's always better, especially for your mental as well and stuff, if you are liked and not hated. But whether you're liked or hated, people will watch. Your haters will watch, and your fans will watch. So
True.
you have to create. If you're just in front of the camera all day and saying, "Yeah, he's a cool, good fighter. Yeah, I look forward to fight him. Yeah, I wish him all the best," no one will tune in. No one gives a fuck about you. If you're like, "I'm gonna fuck this guy up. I'm gonna take the food out of from the table of this guy." If you, whatever you do, YouTube, whatever you do, you need to be something special. You need to have a personality, and you need to polarize in some kind of way. People need to tune in for something you represent, for something that's different than others, for something that's entertaining for them. And
Well,
I
okay,
think that's
so
something she does well. She entertains.
how about you got your bantamweights? I know everybody loves the bantamweights. So you got Aljamain
Favorite
Sterling.
El
You,
Chislame.
I don't feel like he's a big. Yeah, I don't feel like he's a huge pay-per-view seller.
Even though I have to say he's also growing a lot, but he also got a lot of haters because I same with Aljamain. I'm not a fan of him, but I like him. I
Right.
really like him, but he doesn't do himself any favors in terms of being liked with what he puts out there. Like 90% of the stuff he puts out there is cringe as fuck. It's weird as hell, and it's just like makes you go like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But it helps him grow. Same like it was for Triple C. Triple C wasn't relevant. Do you know that Triple C was back in the day a really like humble guy on the mic and stuff?
Oh yeah, I know.
His nickname was the Messenger. He was very religious, always talked about God, and then he just made a switch and changed his personality to Triple C, the trash talker, the Mr. Cringe, King of Cringe. He sells it better than Aljamain, I have to say, but that's what made him relevant. People were hating him, people were shitting on him, people still think he's cringe as fuck, but people tune in. And same for Aljamain. But I believe Aljamain, he's a famous guy. He has success, he earns good money, but he will never be that big star because it's just something about him. Like I don't tune into his YouTube videos. I think they're boring as hell.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Even though I like him, you know what I mean. But I just
No, I mean, he has yet to strike that nerve with me that says like I want to care about him. You know what I mean? Like
he did not strike that nerve. You mean? You said?
Huh?
He did not strike that nerve. You said or what?
He did not strike. He has not struck that nerve
Yeah.
with me. Like, because some fighters just win you over. You know what I mean?
True,
like
true.
whether you like them or not, they'll just like they casually kind of take
Charles
and they
Oliveira.
grow on you. Who?
Charles Oliveira, for example.
Yeah, the lightweight champion has a name. Du Bronx, baby.
Du Bronx, let's go, baby. Look at my screensaver.
Bro, I'm really looking forward to him. Hey, real quick, let's just talk about it real fast, man. Hey, Larry, you're so cute. You want to see? You just saw it. That's tight, bro. You should also be a sponsor for that phone.
A sponsor for iPhone. Okay.
Yeah, dude, Dariush. I feel for him, man.
Me as well. I really felt for him. I really liked Dariush.
He fought so hard to get a title, like just to get into title contention. And like, because I kind of followed along with his storyline. That's what I said. I'm the casual man. I'm kind of casually following along with these storylines. And that's one that's just like, oh man. Because he's up there in age as well. And when it comes to fighting, you have a finite amount of time. And he was just on his run. And whether he got stiffed by the UFC or not, his opportunity was then, now.
Yeah, and if you're a big star, they will give you a title shot again soon. But he will never be that big star because he's just a guy that refuses to talk anything bad or anything polarizing. So by that, he's 35 if I'm not mistaken, or 34. He's now a 34-year-old guy. He's not on an 8-fight winning streak anymore. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. People only care about what you did for them lately. 1-fight losing streak. People will be like, he will not have one fight now that is he will not, okay, yeah. He's definitely like he's about like 2 fights away from a title, I would say. But the UFC will not try to push him. The UFC will match him up with young killers who they hope beat him. And, you know what I mean? They will not try to give him any favors. They will not give him a better contract now or something. They will not do anything. So I kind of feel for that guy because he got done wrong for so long. He faced some adversity early in his career, came back from it. He had an 8-fight winning streak, had some really good wins, and then just got fucking obliterated by Charlie Olives. I honestly believe
Charlie Olives.
I honestly believe it just showed that Beneil is a phenomenal fighter, but that something is missing still. I don't believe he lost because it was just a bad day for him. I believe Charles is just. It showed that Charles is probably the better fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what happens from here on out. Like I said, it just sucks because his storyline is kind of like that was official first round chop. You know what I'm saying? Chop. You know what I'm saying?
So now the record again. First round knockout doesn't look good in the record. Doesn't sell good for your next fight.
No. But that's the thing, though. I don't know. I would still rather have that than like them just like actually that would have been a great jujitsu battle between those two. But
True.
it didn't even get there, man.
Talking about jiu-jitsu, do you know what's coming up? There's a UFC grappling event again that's coming up, and there will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
Anthony Smith grappling against Glover Teixeira. I love it. I love that because
Oh,
Anthony Smith
really?
and Glover Teixeira fought in the
Glover Teixeira
octagon,
takes
right?
his head.
I think it would be a fun match. I favor Glover, but Glover is older. It would be a fun match, because they really
Glover.
like each other. They're friends. But they had an MMA fight where Glover beat the shit out of Anthony on the ground. And I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know. That's a fun grappling match. Like a retired guy, two guys I really like as well, and like it's a grappling match. No one will hopefully get hurt. You know what I mean? Other than maybe in a heel hook or something. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that grappling event, man. I like that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. There's I'm a big fan of the jujitsu, man. Damage really helped with me get a little bit more into it as well. Just going to a world class championship jujitsu place was crazy. Going to the worlds.
Not I always say there's no like I'm a Thai boxing guy. I love Thai boxing to death, but I think there's no sport that makes you so addicted like grappling. I just love to roll around with people. I don't know. At the beginning, it kind of sucks because you just get tapped all around. I don't know. There's so much to learn that it's so it triggers you so much to go and go and go again because there's so much to learn there. It's so interesting, and especially when you start to see progress, when you start to see that you are not getting tapped as fast anymore by the higher belts, that you can tap people, that you can, be competitive. Then it starts to really be fun. And it's just such a fun sport, man. You don't get hit in the head, like it's fun.
Yeah, and it's competitive, and that's what's up.
Yeah, and it's
And it's
so
dangerous.
diverse. Like it starts from the stand up, take the dude to the ground, control position, advanced position, submission. There's so many steps in there, and it's also useful for our everyday life as well because I believe jiu-jitsu is very underrated for street fighting. Even though I always say number one street fight tip: run away. But like it's actually very underrated because with jiu-jitsu you can also win a fight without hurting someone. And not, I don't care about the other one. If someone attacks me on the street, I don't care about his health too much, but I care about my life. If someone attacks you on the street and you can't escape, and you can choke him out, you will not get too many legal problems. If you knock him out though, and he falls with his head backwards to the fucking concrete and dies because he starts to bleed, which can happen. It happens sometimes already. You know what I mean? You're fucked. You murdered someone. So that's why I think jiu-jitsu is something phenomenal. And like Joe Rogan said as well, that's a very interesting point that I really believe in. There's nothing like jiu-jitsu that helps you to stay calm in stressful situations in everyday life, because there's no situation in life that is more real, more life or death kind of, and real as fuck than if you're in a choke in your training. Someone is choking you and you need to try to get out. And the number one rule you have to learn when you get choked is stay calm. Don't go crazy. You will go to sleep much faster. Stay calm, breathe through your nose, try to fight the choke smartly, and do adjustments, think, and that will help you so much in everyday life because when you're in stressful situations, which always happen, you will be able to be much calmer and handle situations nicer and more safe. And also, as I said, there's nothing more real, bro. Even though it's just training, if I'm choking you, and if we're real about it, if I continue to choke you, you pass out, I choke you for 15 more seconds, you're dead. I mean, I can
I
kill you.
mean, yeah,
I can kill you with a choke. It's not like everyday
blood
life
choke.
stress situations. You have bills to pay. You can't afford the bill right now. That's a stress situation.
Get a little dark in here.
But yeah, no. But it's hard. It's stressful. But it will help you because the bill can't be any more real than losing your consciousness. You know what I mean? Than possibly losing your life. And even though it's a very hard example now, but when you train jiu-jitsu, I think that's really something that benefits you for everyday life stressful situations. Same as like an ice bath or something can also help.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. Well, a lot of people don't even exercise, man. Jiu-jitsu is one of those things that gets off your endorphins that makes you feel really good because you just worked out. You did something really great, and whether you know it or not, there's always goal setting inside of uh, just interacting with another person. You don't even understand that there's subconscious goals that are going on between you two,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna give you that crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
So.
and there's also what's very crazy that I experienced with jiu-jitsu that doesn't really happen with Thai boxing to me is there's no other situation in my life, not even like not sex, nothing, where you just for as long as you're there, if you're grappling, if you're sparring, grappling sparring with someone for this 1 hour that you're doing that or something, you will not think of anything else. None of your problems, nothing matters. You will be
Yeah.
just, and it never happened. You're always completely with your brain just in the moment. I never thought about anything in my life while I was grappling. Sometimes when I'm running, kicking the pad or something happens that I maybe think about something. I don't know. I see a hot girl in the room. I'm looking at her. I hit the pad. You know what I mean? I look to the side real quick and I see, oh, it's a hot girl, nice ass. So, I don't know. Just an example. I'm distracted. I'm thinking about something now. I'm thinking about the hot girl now. Blah blah. Whatever. When I'm grappling, you're so in the zone. You don't think about anything else, and it's so nice because you come out, your dopamine is completely refreshed. You come out of the gym and you feel like, wow, like I'm not drained. I'm completely like fueled with not maybe not with energy, maybe a little bit tired, but your brain is fueled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're also saying you're a healthy person, and like especially in America, that doesn't. I don't think that's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, like in America specifically, but to do and to have jujitsu inside of your life, one, you have to afford it. Okay. Then you're doing physical activity. And now you're affording something. Now you have to afford the food that comes with that physical activity. And you can use there's a lot of things, you can use shakes, you can do all this, but that also does come at a cost. So now you're in this expensive ass. Okay. Now what else do I need to do? You might need to get some clothes or something for right here. But to keep that habit going, it's extremely expensive to be healthy. You know what I mean?
I'm actually pretty confident in arguing that jiu-jitsu is much cheaper than normal gym life, because if you train jiu-jitsu, you don't need a protein shake. You don't need that. Like the craziest black belts, if they take their t-shirt off, they don't look any different than you and me. Like they are not the most. Of course, there are people like that, and of course, it's always nice if you get your protein and stuff. But trust me, there's so many people that train jiu-jitsu that don't eat that clean or something. I mean, they don't change their lifestyle too much. Of course, it's always good to change your lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle, but all you need is if you're training a gi, otherwise some training clothes, and that's it. You don't need shoes. You don't need nothing. You don't need any gym
How
shoes
much?
from Under Armour
How
or
much?
whatever.
You need your monthly fees.
That's
How
true.
much? Yeah. Look, I'm just saying. I'm a normal ass, casual ass person. Okay. I go into a plane seat. That shit's made for fucking me. 5'9.5". Normal ass me. My knees don't even touch the other seat. I'm normal as fuck. Okay. I'm just saying. In order for me to keep myself, it would cost a significant amount of money to not only get the jujitsu, get the gear that comes with the jujitsu, hold that up for the whole months that are to come, and supply myself with enough calories. And I run hot, dude, to cooperate with that exercise. That's a lot for me.
Of course, but going to a gym is more expensive. I'm pretty sure going to a normal
No,
gym.
it's not. I go to Planet fucking Fitness for $5. Are you kidding me? Stop it.
But there's also
Stop. Hey,
the jiu-jitsu gyms are not that expensive, bro. They're really not that expensive.
really?
If you go to a very high class MMA gym, okay. But if you just go to a jiu-jitsu gym that is maybe not the
How much?
biggest
How much a
gym.
month?
Bro, Switzerland's a very bad example. In Switzerland, it's still cheaper than a gym subscription. It's cheaper than going to a physical workout gym. In Switzerland, everything is more expensive. Like, if I would tell you what would you pay for a gym subscription in Switzerland for like fitness, you would go crazy. You know what I mean?
Look,
There's
I live in a land where you call the ambulance on people, and then then you go into a debt full of holes. You know what I mean? Like, look, I live in crazy land, America. Okay,
that's true.
we we try to fuck each other over every fucking day. Look, every day. That's what we do. That's capitalism, baby. That's capitalism. Look, I want to be healthy. So in order for me to be healthy, I talk healthy. Talking healthy with you. Let's get to MMA real quick before we wind down this blood talk, of which I'm very much enjoying.
I just want to say we have to get back to my May, bro. We're drifting off now.
But in general, though, I feel like as far as this goes, how do you feel about this? How's your audience feel about your blood talk?
You mean the talk videos?
No, this right now, this podcast.
The Casual the Nerd. I don't know. At the beginning, there were some people chatting. Now it's really quiet. I don't know what's going on.
Cool. Hey, it comes with consistency, man. I tell you that. Consistency, and now that we can finally kind of figure this out, if I personally kind of prefer this kind of Discord call because I can't see the comments or anything, so I can only watch your eyes kind of gaze over at the screen.
Sometimes when I'm watching the screen, I'm watching you as well because like the camera is here and the screen is here. You are here for me. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
That's why I'm watching. If I watch like this, I'm watching you. This is the camera. This is you. This is chat.
Yeah, and we could also do this too on the TikTok too. I know that you do both platforms, but I feel like you do TikTok better than you do YouTube.
That's an insult, bro. Because my YouTube content is much more like there's much more thoughts and work behind it, and there's much more like there's much more work behind the YouTube content than the TikTok. TikTok is just entertainment, whilst YouTube is informative entertainment. Let's say like that.
Well, you get more followers on TikTok, right?
True, but the followers come from. It's easier to go viral on TikTok, first of all. And on TikTok, I post short videos that try to entertain or trigger an emotion. Some videos are very provocative. On YouTube, I'm explaining and talking MMA and giving my opinion on it, which is a little bit harder to sell in the beginning because people need to start to like you first because there's so many people that do videos like that. So why should they watch you? You need to win them over first. You know what I mean? And YouTube is not really friendly with exposing my content. I feel like sometimes.
I'd agree. I think it's. Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know anything, man.
Like my most viewed YouTube videos, like 4.5K views. Like not short. I mean the normal videos. Shorts have more, but normal videos. Whilst on TikTok, my most viewed videos 1.6 million. You know what I mean? There's a huge difference there. So this is like the platform, the algorithm is just much simpler on TikTok to push you to go viral on TikTok. It's much easier than on YouTube. On YouTube, sometimes I feel like, bro, am I shadow banned? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm making a video with like a thumbnail and the title that is so catchy, and that other videos that are similar get like 100,000 of views, and I'm like, bro, what is going on here? I mean, but trust the process.
Well, that's the world we live in, right? It's the process.
It's the process. And the problem is most people quit during the process because most people be like over 1 year of YouTube, only 1,350 subscribers or something. I'm quitting. I don't make any money from it. I'm quitting. I go to the studio every day, filming videos, cutting videos. I'm quitting. But it's always about not quitting and continue. Listening to David Goggins telling you, who's gonna carry the votes, bro? Who's gonna carry the votes?
You know what I'm saying? Well, very nice. Well, hey, I think I got dinner coming up.
Yeah, it's also 1 a.m. for me, so yeah.
But we got to do like I said, consistency usually breeds success. And anytime you want to talk MMA, you know where to find me, man. And you know what?
Of course,
we got to find a good.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to say, yeah, I will try to see if I can, I don't know, find a tutorial or something how we can make this a little bit more professional for next time, if it works. I would love to have like my normal streaming background and stuff, and that you can stream it as well. But we'll see how we do that.
Yeah, dude. And I'm telling you, dude, as soon as we meet up with each other, man, it'll be very funny. I'm very funny.
I think we will have some heated arguments, but we have some very fun laughs as well.
I'm sure we'd have heated arguments. I'm sure of that.
I'm just gonna tap you and then it's done.
I call you a pussy to your face.
I'll tap you then. No worries.
What negative? Call you a pussy.
I'm gonna hand you like damage, dude.
Huh? Damage weighs like 230 pounds.
No problem, bro.
Me and you could actually have a nice little scramble.
That's true. I'm curious
if I'm actually. Hey, if I'm actually eating though, I would choke you out. You know, I'm just gonna say what it is.
I'm just gonna say what it is. I put all the money I have on it that it won't happen.
That's crazy because I know you don't have that much money. All right,
that's true.
Hey.
But I know that I can't lose it. You know what I mean? So I would
say my man's gambling with nothing.
I would say if you can take me down, and then like if we stand in front of each other, we grapple, and you can take me down, I will give you a shit ton of money, bro.
Dude, you're so funny because that's probably why you don't have much money because you would lose a lot of money.
No, there's no way now to take me down.
Yeah, I literally come from a wrestling town. Look up Lake Stevens Wrestling. Just do yourself a favor and do that to yourself and find out how I'd fuck you up.
Doesn't matter where you're from, bro. I just know there's no way in hell you take me down.
I wasn't even a wrestler, but
my takedown defense is so good, bro.
I wasn't even a wrestler. I played football. I was on the rag. I was on the bad football team.
Football, that's nice. That's nice.
So let's do this soon again, yeah?
Of course, brother. Give Kels my best of wishes.
Always, I will. Let's go just take a look real quick. My mom's over here as well. You might see her in the background, you know what I'm saying? Let the people know. We're over here. She's cooking up a storm. Let's see what's happening.
Nice. Vegetables.
Powerful.
I like it.
You know what we do, baby. We eat them vegetables. I got some vegetables over here. I'm about to turn into vapor. You know what I'm saying? Some vegetable vapor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, baby.
Okay, brother. In a bit, bro. See you.
And MMA, what's it called? What's our show called?
MMA Talk, the casual and the nerd, or the nerd and the casual, whatever.
Okay, well, I'll be the casual. You can be the nerd. Casual out. Tap!
Lots for that. Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. And wish you all an amazing evening, okay? Bye, guys. Lots support.